Okay. So anyways, our final storyteller of the afternoon is Clay Hurtubise. Come on up, Clay.
Driving north on Route 1, I passed Boca Raton, Florida. I came across this beautiful cove, not real large, but with snow-white sand. Not a soul in sight. I pull my rental convertible over. I jump out. I notice I'm in front of a green curb. In Maine, we don't have green curbs. I figured, no big deal. So I go and I grab my blanket and towel. I snap the blanket open and lay it out, put the towel down as a headrest, and I lay back and go, just what the doctor ordered. And that's for real. That week, I had given bone marrow. And if any of you have given bone marrow, you know how exhausted you feel afterwards, how tired and run down. You can't get out of your own way. Well, my sister and I were very close growing up. And when she got sick, the doctor got the three brothers in a room and said, "We're going to need bone marrow. Right here." My other brothers thought I was being arrogant, but I loved her dearly. We used to do everything together: hiking, biking, catching frogs, pulling lint out of our belly buttons. Ew, ew, comparing it. And we could finish each other's sentences. We also went to school together. It was a Catholic school with a convent in front and the church beside it. There'd be certain days walking home, I'd be really withdrawn and quiet. She knew me inside and out. She knew not to ask questions. When I got home, I wouldn't even watch Gilligan's Island. I'd do my homework and go straight to bed. And my parents would say, "What's wrong with Chris?" And she always made up some good story. "Oh, they had to play tag football today, and he's awful at it, and the boys all made fun of him." And they'd buy it. And so we were extremely close. So when it came time to donate bone marrow, the doctor said, "This is something unusual. We haven't seen this before. You and your sister are 2 years apart. You're like identical twins." He said, "We have never seen two adults separated by 2 years, and the woman having given birth, which changes her blood, have the exact bone marrow. And not only that, the biomarkers in the blood are the same. We don't have to give her anti-rejection drugs." So he goes, "May we please take bone marrow from both hips?" And I said, "Absolutely." He goes, "You're going to be a wreck." He goes, "Get out of Maine, go someplace warm, lay in the sun, and recuperate." And so that's what I was doing. Well, when I went to do it, my brother's wife, his third Deborah at the time, said, "Chris is doing that for attention." From whom? So I'm laying on my blanket, getting all the attention I can stand from the sun in Florida. And I decided, it's time to go in the water. I'm from Maine. Going into the ocean is an event in Maine. In the summer, it may hit 54. And there's a ton of seaweed wrapping around your legs. You can't see the ocean floor. And it typically just suddenly drops off. And 1 minute you're here, and the next minute you're underwater. Well, I start strolling out there, and I'm just amazed. This water is so clear. It was so flat, it was like a lake. I couldn't understand what's going on. This isn't an ocean. This is someone's swimming pool. And I keep walking out, and these little fishies are going around my legs, and I'm just entranced by them. And I'm walking and slowly getting deeper, and I hear something. And I turn around, and there's a lady across the street in the third-floor balcony. Park! 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 And I'm thinking, oh, God, the green curb. And I'm thinking, she must be the local neighborhood curb police. And they're going to have me towed or ticketed. And I didn't care. And I was so weak, I couldn't run in there anyways. So I just stay where I am. And she starts to wave. So I wave back. And I think, wow, she's pretty friendly for somebody yelling park at me. And so then she waves a little bit stronger. So I wave stronger. Well, then she does both arms. Well, you get it, both arms. And so I wave both arms. And then she jumps up and down and waving. So I do the same thing. And then she goes, I'm like, okay, something wrong with this lady. This is that children's game that was in the Korean movie there, Red Light, Green Light, yes. And so she's playing Red Light, Green Light, and I don't really understand it from a block away. But the next thing she does is this. And I know better than an imitator, so I look down just as two 6 to 8 foot long black shiny sharks pass in front of me within reach. Their fins are piercing through the water. And I'm shocked. I want to scream. I want to run towards shore, but I know better than to make a sudden movement. Well, then I look up at her, and she's doing this, like a washing machine. I'm going, what does she mean? So I look around. In about a 24-foot circle, there's dozens of sharks. And they're all in pairs, and they're all swimming in a circle, and I'm inside that circle. And I'm terrified. I'm like, what do I do? And I'm looking up for guidance, and she's like, that. And I'm thinking, nobody can help me. So I wait for a little break in the action, and I move my left foot. This is where a quad cane comes in handy. I move my left foot forward just a little bit, and something brushes against it. Oh, my God. I said, they're going to start biting me. And I look down, and it's just a stingray swimming out to deeper water. And I think, just a stingray. And I think that was a time the Australian guy who used to wrestle alligators and stuff. He had a TV show. Steve, was it? Had died from getting pierced in the heart by the tail of a stingray. And I'm scared that this thing may just make me bleed, and then the dinner bell will ring for the sharks. And so I'm more terrified than ever. And it was at that exact moment I learned sharks are not attracted to the smell of urine. When there's a little bit of a bigger break, I make my way through. And on the way, I keep looking at the ocean floor, and I have to navigate around 3 more stingrays. And I'm scared about the tails. And I make my way around. I get to the beach, and there are 2 washed up on shore. And I get to my blanket, I throw it over my shoulder, and I start going back to the car. And I hear this whistle. And because of my stroke, I can't do it. But if anybody can, it's that one with you. It's pretty loud. Oh, there we go. Louder, louder. Give it some gusto. There. So I hear that, and I look up, and there's my friend. And she's got her hands above her head clapping. And then she goes, bravo, bravo. So I do what anybody would do. I take a bow. And I go, and she reaches out, and then and I pretend I get hit. And we just start laughing our asses off. And I get back in the car, and I go back to my buddy's house. And I said, you're not going to believe what happened. And when I started telling him about the sharks swimming pairs, at one point, I had 2 sharks in front of me and 2 sharks behind me. I could have touched both groups at the same time. And it was that intense. And he's laughing his butt off. He's crying. He's just coming down. I tell him about the stingray, and he's down on the floor. And he's like, oh my God, silly, don't you know? Never go in the ocean after a major storm. And I looked at him and I said, well, I do now. Thank you.